Welcome to It Seems Complicated. It's human.
Obviously.
X, you forgot to turn on the translator again.
Sorry, Bobo. Do you have a moment?
Again, it's B-O-B. I know you're allergic to palindrome names because they put you in a loop, but it does happen to be my name. What's up?
I have a question for you.
Is it again for your research on the multicellular organism thing?
Yes, habits and behaviors of multicellular neural pre-enlightenment organisms.
Sure. So what do you want to know?
Today I was wandering around here and I heard some music coming from a building. So I went in to take a look and I saw a lot of people facing one guy dressed differently than the crowd who was facing him. When the music ended, this guy started talking, and then when he was silent, the others repeated all the things he had just said again. I don't get it. What was that place?
No, that's simple. You were in a place of worship.
Oh, what's a place of worship?
It's simple. It's where people go to pray.
Oh, what does it mean to pray?
Oh, that's simple. That's how people connect with their religion.
Oh, what's a religion?
X, as I just told you, it's complicated. Religion is that thing that can give you all the answers to all the questions.
Like your intraplanetary communication network?
No, that's the internet, and it's fairly new. This is different, and it's very ancient. The first religions came about around 6,000 years ago.
Oh, 6,000 years?
Yeah, remember that whole discussion we had about how we add one to the count every time we go around our star, the sun?
Oh, yes.
So, back in those days, humans were very primitive and underdeveloped. They did not have nearly the technology or the understanding of the world that we have today. So their religion consisted of simply worshipping the sun, the moon, and other celestial bodies and natural events like the spring. Nowadays, we know they are simply giant balls of gases or rocks floating around the universe, but they didn't, obviously.
Obviously.
Then more sophisticated religions started to spread. There were civilizations, for instance, who built giant triangular buildings and worshipped multiple gods, like the sun from the guys before, but they were way more evolved and carved nicely looking comics on the stones of their buildings, so we know all about them now. Then other more modern ones became more popular in the last couple of thousand years and are well affirmed now. In general, slightly more than half of the people on Earth now believe there is just one God. 1/6 thinks there are multiple ones, and about the same amount of people don't even care.
What about the remaining quarter?
Well, half of them follow an ancient philosophy which the majority of regular people don't even understand is not a religion. Then there is a very small group who thinks God has an agreement with them and are still waiting for his messenger to show up. And while they wait, since they are really good with money, they get in trouble with everyone else.
That's not 100%. What about the rest?
I don't know, X. They are probably just wrong.
I see. You mentioned God several times. It sounds important. What is God?
Oh, that's simple. God is the creator of all things, including the universe.
Oh, interesting. Where is God?
Simple. It depends on which one, but mostly everywhere.
Have you seen it?
X, as I told you, it's complicated. It's not that you just see it.
You mentioned before the ancient people who worshipped the sun, the ones you called primitive and...
Yeah, underdeveloped. What about them?
Well, they were seeing the sun they thought was God every day for half a day. So, why can't you see this one God?
Well, someone kind of saw it at the beginning when these religions started.
Thousands of years ago?
Yeah.
So, if the last people that saw him lived thousands of years ago, how can people know today? And how did they know that was God?
Well, there were stories and signs and witnesses and books.
Oh, like the comics on the stone walls again?
No, as I said before, those were from primitive people.
I see. So, is there anything like something made of materials that you can't find on Earth?
No.
Any energy signature like the CMB measurable by scientific instruments?
The what?
The cosmic microwave background, the relic radiation that permeates all of the universe.
Oh, that one. No.
Any reproducible phenomenon that indicates proof of its existence?
Kind of.
Scientific proof?
Okay, no.
I see. So, how do they know?
They have faith.
Oh, interesting. What's faith? Is it another type of science?
No, quite the opposite indeed.
Oh, I don't get it.
Faith is something that allows you to trust that something is a certain way without the need to prove it, and disregarding any evidence of its disproof.
I see. Is that a disease?
No, it's not. In fact, there are studies that show that most people who are active in religious congregations and have faith in God seem to be happier than the ones who don't.
Happier. I see. But then, why don't all people have the same faith?
One thing about humans you will learn soon enough is that everyone thinks to be right and that everyone else is wrong about pretty much everything. This is no different.
I see. But during your history, wasn't there a moment from which one of the religions became more influent so that all humans joined it?
Not all of them. There were groups in the past that were very committed to convert all the others to their faith, though.
So why didn't any of them finally make their case and became the only one?
Nobody managed to build a big and strong enough army yet.
Oh, I see. Anyway, why do you need religion?
Mainly to answer all the difficult questions that still don't have an answer. Where do we come from? Why are we here? Where do we go when we die?
Why don't you answer those with science?
Yeah, we might someday. Science is really cool, but is so slow. It took us about 2.4 million years to get to something that was kind of an attempt of science. Remember the people who built the triangular structures? They were quite smart now that I think of it. Then it took humans about another 4,000 years to get to the scientific method in the 17th century. And the guy who is now recognized as the father of modern science was arrested by the religious people of the time because he kept insisting that it was Earth that rotates around the sun and not the other way around. Ironically, 300 years later, another guy from the same religion as his prosecutors became the first one to theorize that the universe started with the Big Bang and has been expanded ever since. Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, if you think that science can answer all those questions, how did you guys do it?
Let me show you. Can I use this whiteboard?
Sure, Mr. Alienstein.
My name is...
I know, never mind. We will get to sarcasm some other time. Go ahead.
So, on this line, here is us on Earth at this very moment.
Yeah.
4,000 years back is when your triangular building comics drawers were living. 2.4 million years ago. The first one of your species. This is when our understanding of this planet evolution became quite fuzzy and less easy for us to understand. And thus, one of the main reasons why I am here.
Sure.
243 million years ago, Earth was populated by big reptiles that were here when we first wanted to study your planet. But it turns out they were not as talkative as expected, so we just postponed the whole program.
Oh, yeah, we call them the dinosaurs.
538.8 million years ago, the Cambrian radiation.
The Cambrian what?
According to my notes, sometimes you humans also call it Cambrian explosion or biological Big Bang, because almost all present-day animal phyla on Earth appeared during this period. This one was the time when your planet started to become interesting to us, at least before the dinosaurs fiasco. 4 billion years ago, single-celled life.
Yeah.
6.5 billion years ago, your neighbor star's Alpha Centauri system was created during the matter-dominated era.
Yeah, we know that.
12.8 billion years ago to 13.65 billion years ago. Reionization, the end of the Dark Ages.
Dark Ages. We have that in our history of a place called Europe. It was between the 5th and the 14th century. It was right after the failure of a big empire made by a civilization called the Romans. It is called dark because it was a time of economic, intellectual, and cultural decline. But then, thankfully, in the 1400s, an era called the Renaissance began. Oh, and that's when the guy I told you before figured out that Earth orbits around the Sun and not vice versa. It was a great time for intellectual development, economy, and culture.
I see. These Dark Ages are more about reionizing neutral hydrogen in a moment when matter had been already diffused by the expansion of the universe. So the scattering interactions of photons and electrons were much less frequent than before electron-proton recombination.
Okay.
Thus, the universe was full of low-density ionized hydrogen and remained transparent, as it is today. After that, matter continued to draw together under the influence of gravity, forming stars, galaxies, and quasars.
I am not sure I follow.
More stars started to form and turn the light on in the universe.
I think I kind of get it.
Reionization is your renaissance.
Oh, okay, got it.
Good. About 13.8 billion years ago. Here is what you call the beginning of the universe, or Big Bang. Interesting name.
Yeah, I know. Some in our species get really excited about explosions. The bigger, the better. But the real question is, what was there before the Big Bang?
Well, the universe was a singularity in both space and time. So the fact that time did not exist at the time means that there was no before it.
My nose is bleeding, X. So how did everything come into existence again? What was that? X, your head is swelling. Are you alright?
Yes, I'm just expanding my brain since what I'm about to explain requires way more of my processing power. What do you humans do when you need more processing power?
We scratch our heads?
Do they expand?
Not really, but they hitch a lot.
Oh, so what do you do then?
We scratch them even harder. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so here is your Big Bang. Now, here and here, there are... And that's how it all comes together.
I think the translator could not keep up with you for the most part. Is that on the whiteboard a level 2 multiverse?
No.
A level 3 multiverse?
No.
A megaverse?
That's the same thing, so no.
Did you just say 42?
No.
Okay, I think I'll just stick with religion. If you want to help X with his research, subscribe to this channel, share it responsibly, and leave us a review.
A positive one, obviously.
Okay, let me try again. Go.
Just keep calling me X.
That's exactly what it is.